Hi there, my name is Casey McCarl, and this is my final assignment for EDU 304. So this is my future goals as an educational studies major presentation, and my name is Casey McCarl. So my future goal with this degree is to become a health educator. I would love to become a ninth grade health teacher. Personal health is a subject that I'm very passionate about, and I hope to share my passion with my future students and encourage them to take care of themselves in order to live a happy and fulfilling life. Health has always been one of my favorite subjects in school, so it's been great that I can continue studying it with this degree path. I look forward to sharing my passion for being healthy and taking care of myself with my future students, and I hope to inspire them to want to take care of themselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, recognizing your strengths is so important, especially when searching for a career. And this course has helped me to recognize my own strengths and understand how I can use these strengths to my advantage in my future career. So, in Module 1, we took an EQ self assessment to analyze our own strengths and our areas for improvement. And in this self assessment, I scored high in the self awareness and empathy categories. So, I've always considered myself to be very self aware and empathetic. Self aware specifically of the things I say, the way I act in certain situations. I feel I'm able to read the room and kind of adjust the things I say and the way I act to fit the setting. So D'Souza said in the book EQ from the Inside Out that emotions are at the root of anxiety and stress. And they say that a lack of emotional literacy can have extreme consequences. So it's so important to understand your emotions and learn to become emotionally literate. I think that my strong self awareness skills will allow me to be more understanding of my own emotions and, in turn, my future students' emotions and the emotions that they're feeling. I know that as a future educator, it's going to be really important for me to teach my students the importance of being self aware and understanding their own emotions. So I hope that I can pass this skill set on to my future students. I also consider myself to be very empathetic and usually able to understand and really feel for other people and their emotions. I can put myself in others' shoes and try to picture how they're feeling. And I feel like throughout my studies at ASU, I've really increased my empathy skills, which is going to benefit me in my future career as an educator. So this is a strength, especially as a future educator, because I'm going to be able to truly understand the emotions and the feelings of my students. And I will use strategies I learned throughout this course to be able to do that. I'll put myself in their shoes so that I can help find the best possible solution to any problems, or so that I can design the best possible learning curriculum to fit my students' needs. So throughout this course, I've learned several leadership skills that I know are going to benefit me in my future career as a health educator. So I will base my leadership style on teamwork and collaboration because I believe I have so much to learn from others and that the best initiatives are well thought out and worked on by a team of people rather than just a single person. I will also use data-informed decision making when leading projects and designing curriculum. There was one reading in Module 3 that said that educators are being urged to move away from the concept of data-driven and instead towards a culture of data-informed. And in addition to keeping up with data and trends of my students' learning, I'm going to take this idea from this article and give my students assessments to analyze their learning preferences. And I will always keep that in mind when designing learning activities and curriculum for my students. So my main goal really for developing my leadership style as an educator will just be to keep my learners' best interests in my mind every day. So it's going to be really important for me to stay motivated as a future educator. And this course helped me to find tons of strategies that are going to help keep me motivated as a health educator. And I will use them to my benefit. So looking back to chapter 6 of EQ from the Inside Out, there were these 9 tips. And these 9 tips have proven really helpful in keeping me motivated to just finishing out this track and getting started in my future career. So one of the first tips was finding mentors, and that one was really relevant to me because I think it's going to be super important to find mentors in my workplace, in my colleagues, and my coworkers who have been there and can offer me guidance and support in my first years of teaching. I think that having people who are going to support you in your journey to being the best educator is super important. Another tip that was relevant was I'm always going to bring the best out in myself and use all of my strengths to my advantage. So these assignments have really helped me to recognize my strengths, and now I know which qualities of myself I would like to bring to the table as a future educator. I will also continue to build my self esteem so I can be a role model to my future students because ultimately they're the main thing that keeps me going. And my favorite of the 9 tips listed in chapter 9 was turn work into play. I really want my future workplace to be a place I look forward to going every day and I don't dread it. So, my goal is to really make as many friends and mentors as possible and my colleagues. And this is just going to create a happy workplace environment. And I think that we will all thrive in that kind of environment. So, also in this course, I had the opportunity to identify my role models who have inspired me to become an educator and even choose this personal health track in my studies. I did some other looking into different tracks, but ultimately chose the personal health track to follow. So, for the educational leadership interview that we did, I spoke with Caitlin Hermanson, who is a community health improvement coordinator at Muskegon Health Project. So, this interview really made it clear that Caitlin is the perfect role model for her learners, our community, and even myself. Caitlin's leadership style is rooted in collaboration and teamwork, two things that are really important. And she takes the initiative to make sure that everyone's thoughts and opinions are heard on her team when creating learning materials and initiatives. It inspires me. Caitlin is so optimistic about community health in Muskegon, and I can really tell that this optimism motivates her to do her best work. So, looking back to EQ from the inside out, the author DeSouza wrote that they, optimists, see opportunities where others dread and moan about failure. Caitlin does just this. Perfect quote for her. She's always thinking about how her team can improve the lives of community members in Muskegon, and that is why she is one of my biggest role models. Another leader identified in this course was Randy Fisher. She's an environmental educator and nonprofit leader who has some incredible accomplishments and awards for her work. I did my case study on Randy Fisher, and she just is a very inspiring educational leader, and I think that her passion for the environment is so motivating and inspiring. Environmental education was another track I was very interested in. So this was another interesting educational leader to look at. So Randy Fisher has proven herself to be passionate and dedicated and determined to calling for systematic change in environmental education. And leaders with this type of work ethic and motivation and passion are the exact type of leaders I want to look up to. And then the last leader I chose was actually Granville DeSouza, the author of our textbook for this course. And DeSouza is a very obviously emotional, intelligent intellectual who has given all of us so much knowledge and understanding of how to be successful in our future careers. And it has really opened my eyes to a lot of different aspects of what is going to make me the best educator I can be. So he's taught me the basic framework for he's taught me the basic framework, sorry, I hope to work with as a future educator. And so I want to be an emotionally intelligent and empathetic, a motivated and collaboration focused educator. All skills I really have realized that I want to master thanks to the SOZA. So, implementing empathy and advocacy. In my future work as an educator, I will use my skills and empathy to be successful in my work because it's going to help me be passionate and motivated to be the best teacher I can be for my learners. Once again, going back to that EQ from the inside out, empathy empowers people. And I know that that's a pretty simple quote, but empathy empowers people. That has got to be one of the biggest driving quotes that I have read in this book. Being empathetic and really feeling for and caring for other people is going to be what motivates me to always show up for my students and be there for them, be their role model, and be the best educator I can be. I know that I can use my empathy skills to empower me as a future educator, and I will design learning materials and curriculum that are going to best support my students. As far as advocacy skills go, I've gained a lot throughout my studies as an education major. and I will learn these skills every day in my future career. I want to advocate for my students every day and always stand up for what I believe is going to be the most beneficial for them. And in EQ from the Inside Out, we learned that to build empathy and successfully advocate, we must master the three basic techniques. And those techniques are listed there. They are learning to calm down, detoxifying self talk, and non defensive listening and speaking. I think that these techniques are already quite in the works for me thanks to this course, and I think I'm on the right track to being an empathetic educator. I'm going to utilize all these aspects of empathy in my work and always work and fight for the best for my students. So for the Noble Goals slide, I looked back at the learning materials from Module 6, and one of the articles from Live Career um, had talked about the importance of creating a vision statement for your career and how that can inspire you to really reach and attain your goals. So the vision statement I created was, I will become a trusted and effective high school health educator who is passionate, empathetic, and motivated to be the best teacher I can be for my students. I will continue to advocate for the best for my students in all of my years as an educator and work to develop teaching methods that best suit my learners. I will continuously work to develop my leadership skills and become a role model to my future students, encouraging them to take care of themselves and reach their highest potential. I will work to create positive change in the lives of my students, and I will always show up for them. So I really wanted to create this career vision statement for my life, and it really has already helped me to feel confident about beginning my search for a career. This statement will encourage and inspire me in my search, and I think it will also continue to inspire me throughout my years as an educator. I think I'm thinking about writing it down and placing it somewhere I can look at it every day, and maybe even keep it with me throughout my years as a teacher. So this vision statement is will hopefully be a guiding light in times of any emotion. Hopefully, it will keep me grounded and dedicating to reaching my noble goals. And this article from Live Career really helped me to realize the benefits of creating this career vision statement and really outlining my goals as an educator. And the article states that a career vision statement should inspire, engage, motivate, and direct you in your future career. And this is just what mine does. I really appreciate you all for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope that you understand my passion and excitement for going into my future career as an educator. These are my references for this project, and thanks again. Have a good day.